Brisbane Yamaha knows boats.
Hi, I'm Aaron, the owner of Brisbane Yamaha. I've got my 690 Trident. I've had lots of work boats, right? Part of the idea of having a good boat is electronics. Electronics are everything in catching fish. Now, Humminbird, one of my favourites today, done with Marcel. Marcel's one of the territory managers, and he talked me into buying a SOLIX 12. Now, a SOLIX 12 is brand new to Australia. There was only 20 that came into Australia, right? They're a 12-inch sounder with a heaps of options, most options I've ever heard of. Some of the options I didn't even know were available on these, right? Such as winding back and it plots an area you're going. Now, the SOLIX 12, this is the first time I've used it. And so what we're going to do is run through exactly what it does. Now, hi Marcel, thanks for coming from the boat.
No worries, Aaron.
Now, what we've done, let me just take you back to home, and I've only just used this, right? What we're doing is we're having a look. On the home function, what we've got is some of our favourite views. So we come in, the first thing you want to do is come into views and see these little stars. So the ones that are activated, oh, like that one I just clicked on, go, take it back, that one. So what I've done is I've gone through and I've identified some of the views I want. You know, sonar and GPS, downside and sonar. I've hooked it up onto the gauges of my Yamaha 225 I've got on this boat. Now, so let's just go back to home, right? We'll go back to home. Now, one of my favourites, side view, down view, sonar. Because when you're exploring an area, you want to see as much as possible. And I've been promised that this SOLIX is better than anything else at exploring area. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to have a quick look at this one here, right? Down view, side view, sonar. Ahead of us is a beacon. We're out off Caloundra. Now, Marcel, show us what you do with this. Tell us what's the top one? Top one, side view?
Side imaging.
Yep.
Down imaging, traditional sonar.
Right. And if you, would I be right in saying this would be good up to about 50 metres?
These units here in these frequencies, because they're running mega imaging, 1.2 megahertz, no other competitor unit has that frequency. It's for the higher detail. Because they're such high energy, they're good up to 50 metres. And then we've got our traditional sonar that's great up to about 450 metres.
Exactly. I've got a beacon there and I want to explore to it. So am I right? I'll go back to home. Correct. I've got one of my favourite sides. I tick onto this one, which is going to be side view, down view. Now, if I wanted to adjust this sensitivity here, look, I can just turn the wheel and see the sensitivity. Now, I can tell you now, I love that. That is easy. And now what you want to do with sensitivity, you want to make the bottom as hard as possible without getting too much static so you can highlight fish. Is that right?
That's correct.
Now, there's your beacon. Are you happy with all those settings?
Fantastic. It's straight out of the box, ready to go. What you'll notice is the thicker the red line, the harder the bottom. Inside and down imaging, what we've got is the brighter or hotter the colour, so the whiter lights, that's the harder bottom. And when we come through arches...
Wait on, go back. The wider the light, the whiter, the harder.
The harder, correct.
Right, so on normal sonar, it's almost the reverse.
It's the red colour is set to hard.
Right, now I can tell you on the way out here, I was doing 75s. This sounder was picking the bottom the whole time. You can see the pylon ahead of us. Okay, now what have we got, Marcel? What are we looking at?
All right, so I'm already noticing the sand ripples in the side imaging. We're looking 30 metres out either side.
How do we know it's 30 metres?
We've got the range up the top there.
Now and that's only based on the depth we are?
No, we can edit the range up to 75 metres either side. Wow. We kept it in because obviously we want more on the screen. Now we're just about to pass that pylon there.
Can't see a thing?
Not yet, because the transducer's at the back of the boat.
Ah.
And what you'll find is we're starting to pick up some fish.
Fish, show the fish.
There they are on the right-hand side next to the pylon.
Wait, stop there, Marcel. Is that the pylon?
That is the pylon.
So the pylon's on that angle. What's going on there? Why isn't it up and down?
What I talk about, Aaron, it's like shining a torchlight on your hand. You get the shadow.
Now, shine it on this. Shine it on here. Look at that bait school. Where's the pylon on the normal sonar?
Well, you can't actually see it because it's not under the boat, Aaron.
And what about this? So this is down view. You can't see it because it's not under the boat. But
Correct.
The side view's picked it out and we know it's out on the right-hand side. Oh, I've missed it. Now I can't see it.
No, that's all right, Aaron, because what I can do is scroll back and we can hold that waypoint there if we wanted to and mark that.
That's
as the pylon. We can go back.
Now, let's go back over that. Did you people see what just happened there? I don't think I've ever used a sounder that can just wind back. Now, can you come back in here, Dan, have a look. Let's have a look. Come down. This is down view.
Yeah, down imaging.
Now, take me back to where that pole was. How do we do that?
So if I go on down imaging, back
Yep.
to where that pole was,
Yep.
you'll notice that that's it just there. You can only see the slight reflection on that, and that's only because it's just glancing the beam in down imaging.
Now, wait on. So, there's the pole. Have a look, Dan. That is the beacon. What's all that static there?
That's all fish. That's all the bait fish.
Now, let's go back to the main screen. Now, put me on this one. Can we go back onto that? Take me back to where that is. So here we come. We came up, and somewhere in here's the pole.
Correct.
Yes?
Yes.
And that's all bait fish.
That's all bait fish.
And are there any bigger... What are these big arches down here?
Well, bait fish will show up as lighter colours, and that's the blue and the greens. However, when they school together, they'll become harder, so you get the red. Now, what we're looking for is the larger red arches or lines outside of the bait school that will show up as fish.
Now, I would have thought down there...
They're predatory fish.
They're predatory fish down there.
Correct.
Now, can I... If I just mark that spot there...
Correct.
I've just created a waypoint, is that right?
That's correct, waypoint 7.
So, hold on. So now we're going back. Now we go past an area. We can go back, make a waypoint, and navigate back to that, and we know where those spots are.
Correct. So if I go back to your map screen, Aaron.
What's that there? What was that arch, that line there? What's that line there?
Well, that's a fish.
That's
Aaron.
a fish. See that?
Yeah.
Stop that and show. See that there? That is a fish that's just swam through, correct? Came
Correct.
up and down.
Yep.
Can you see that? Yep. Okay.
Right, so what I wanted to show you, Aaron,
Yep.
is that you created a waypoint. So if I go back to your map area, now
Yes.
we've got 2 different chart screens. It doesn't matter which one. I can choose that one, for instance. Now you created waypoint 7, so I'm on that screen at the minute. As I zoom in, there's your waypoint 7 that you'll remember doing. Zoomed in too far. There you go. So we would simply come back to waypoint 7 because you scrolled backwards and created that.
Now, if I wanted to navigate to waypoint 7, let's say it was miles away, what do?
You can simply hit the go to button here.
Go on, go to.
Yeah, waypoint 7 is the last one in there. And
Yeah,
the
but
closest
let's
one.
say it wasn't, what do? If I just push that star, am I going to go to all my...
Navigation started, so we're now just going to follow that line.
Tell me what direction it is to that line.
See, north is at the top here?
Yes.
So it's southeast.
So we're coming to here, because I like, that's a compass, right? This is a speedo. I like to see how fast I'm going. I'm always going too fast, right? And over here's a compass. I like a compass because I like to take a bearing and just know, and then I'm not watching. Let's say that wasn't a beacon. We just had seen some bait fish.
Correct.
What sounder or what configuration, down view, side view, sonar, would you use to see the most amount of fish in definition?
Okay, so if the fish are actually underneath you, traditional sonar and down imaging will give you that. However, side imaging is able to see fish 75 metres either side of the boat. So what we're able to do is come past, not just look under the boat, but out to the side, find objects, whether it be rocky bommies, bait fish, whatever, mark a spot, come around and fish where they are.
I can see the beacon. Now show me here. So if you were coming up, what do we see here?
Okay, so we're seeing bait fish underneath the boat. This is actually underneath the boat, and there's that pylon out to the side. Now we know that it comes up out of the water by the length of the shadow. If the shadow was right next to it and lying on the bottom, it'd be lying on the bottom. Whereas at the moment, the shadow comes up out of the ground.
Okay, now, could you swatch to another screen, and will that sounder still have the... So, oh, there it is.
Yes.
So now you went to that sonar to see.
Correct.
All the information is on every single screen.
Correct, it records all the time, and we can go back at any stage if we wanted to go back further.
Go back. See how far back it goes. Look at this. That's unbelievable. The amount of times I've had arguments
It went
trying to
back
put waypoints.
Nearly 80 metres there, Aaron.
Nearly 80 metres behind the boat to see
Correct.
something.
Yep.
It's a game changer. That will change everything. Okay, let's have a look at one of these things. One of the other big things that have been promised is this will create your own maps, your own contour maps. Marcel, tell us what it does. So you're going to
So Auto Chart Live create your own detailed contour maps. We're able to set up our depth and our colours, and what we can do is we can come over spots where traditional Navionics cards simply have spot soundings, but we can create our own detailed contour maps. So you can see here we turned it on, and what we're able to see here is the range. So when it goes into blue it's 30 plus meters, green is obviously 15 to 18, but we're able to find our detailed contour maps. So if you've got your favourite spot, reef, etc., and you want to know where the peaks and troughs and gutters are, you can edit that and record your own. You don't have to send it away or pay a fee, you own that data.
Yeah, why is it that he can't say it? Things, lesser brands like Lorraine's, what you have to do, they've got a feature like this, but you actually have to record it, send it to Lorraine's, they spread it with everything and they charge you a fee. This way, if you've got your secret spot, you can own it. You can know stuff that's never been released to anyone, and I like that because, let's remember, we don't give out our spots because the next thing you know, you'll go there and there'll be 10 boats on it. That's a fantastic feature. I really like it.
Now that comes free on every unit, and then you can buy a zero-line card to record endless data onto.
So we're doing 46. Now what would you do with that to make it clearer so we can see something?
Okay, so it's simple, a matter of turning back the sensitivity slightly on this unit here. So that we get a good bottom read.
Whoa, look at that! There's some structure. What's going on there?
Well, all of a sudden you can see that we've come up into a shallow area. Now, that'll be an area that we'll now record and keep our own detailed contour map of.
Go back to that and have a look at that.
So if we go even 2 fingers into that, Aaron, we can scroll backwards.
Can I go down?
You can.
What the hell's that?
Down. There was some fish back there. And
oh my God, look at this. Come back here. What do you reckon that is, Marcel?
Oh, there's a predatory fish and some other fish there.
So you're saying now, we've gone over that, we've gone at 46 Ks, and now what we could do is we could put a waypoint on there.
Correct.
Waypoint it,
Number
right?
8, correct.
Number 8, and we could go back there, and there's some fish. Is this some more fish here?
Yes, that's a bit of fish there, and as we scroll over, you'll see there's that bank that we just found then, as it goes up.
Now, take it back to another view. What happened with down view?
So as we go back, I'll hit home. I'll get into down imaging.
I put the pressure on him here. Will that go back to that?
Correct.
And up. Look at this. I can tell you this is easy.
That records all the time.
This touchscreen stuff's easy, isn't it? One of the advantages of the SOLIX, it's got this mega. Now, what we have is we have high definition, and we had the normal definition, which is about 455 or something, and then we had high definition. Well, this little baby's got mega. What does that actually mean? Show me here.
So, what we're now running is something that no one else has, and that's 1.2 megahertz in the frequency. So that's why we call it mega imaging. You'll notice here that we can change at any stage from mega to 800 to 455.
Why don't we just leave it on mega? Why would we ever go down to 455?
Well, 455 might be good in shallow water to get all the way to the surface edge underneath the mangrove, but out here we want the best. So we want mega imaging for that high detail.
Right. And can you change the colour of this?
You can, by simply changing this at the minute.
Change it to green. I like green.
Change it to green. Again, Aaron, the wider it is here, the harder it is. So we're looking for hard white areas indicating reef or rock versus the darker areas being sand.
So not only is this SOLIX easier, it's more powerful. Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
What we're going to do is we're going to do a heap of videos on sounders and things. What I can tell you is the SOLIX, it's a top of the range. It's a top of the range Humminbird sounder at the moment.
Correct.
It's just been released. The other thing that's happened is won a lot of awards. What did it? I heard it won something in America.
Yeah, so the iCast was 2 weeks ago, and the SOLIX won the Electronics of the Year.
So iCast is the biggest electronic show in the world?
Biggest tackle show in the world, yes.
Biggest tackle show in the world, and this sounder, the SOLIX range, won the best sounder in the world. Do yourself a favour, come to Brisbane Yamaha, and I'll bring you out of my boat and we'll have a look at one, eh?